Hi teachers, in this set of videos we're going to look at Unit 9, which is operations with decimals. So first we'll start with adding decimals and subtracting decimals, and what may be different from how you typically teach this is that we'll use the area model or the decimal grids to help introduce this topic so they could visualize this. So first, just a few simple examples, 3/10 plus 5/10. So we want them to see through the grids. Here's 3/10, 5/10. Imagine I shaded them better. And then we get a total of 8/10. So we want them to see that combining these two amounts gives this amount. And then notice the patterns that we would add the 3 and the 5. Okay, and that the resulting place value is tenths. So we're starting to get ready to show them why we align the decimal points when we add these. Similarly for 400ths and 700ths, let's look at a new one that has multiple ones. So 3/10 and 600ths. So there's our 3/10. That looks like 600ths, I think. And then when we combine them, we want them to see we're not adding 3 and 6 together. They're not the same unit fraction, place value, or decimal place. When they're combined, I think I went over there, but you get the gist, we end up with 36 hundredths. Okay, so we're trying to get them to visualize these combinations and see why we align the decimal points when we add fractions. So there's a few decimal grids. Okay. Then once we've established this, we give them a place value chart. Okay, and we want them to line them up by the decimal point in the place value chart, and then add place values just like we normally would, and then followed by a problem where they don't have a chart and they need to align them themselves. Okay. So typically I'd say we probably start here, but we're trying to build up this idea. Okay. Similar idea with decimals. Okay. So we'll start with subtracting tenths, subtracting hundredths, and then we have tenths minus some hundredths, so we want them to see this won't be -3 anything. We want them to see the 3/10. We can think of that as 30 hundredths minus 6 hundredths will give us 24 hundredths. So again, area model. Then we have a place value chart, and then we want them to do this by hand by aligning the decimal places themselves. Okay. And then we just touch a little bit on adding and subtracting signed decimals. So basically saying we're going to use the same procedures and ideas we did with integers. And we have this all written out for them to review. Okay, so we have two negatives. We're going to add their absolute value. The result is negative. Subtracting, if we subtract a negative, we can change that to adding a positive, etc. Okay. Now in the next video, we'll look at multiplying and dividing with decimals.